Right, how's it going, guys? Today we're going to be reviewing, or more like reacting to some of the comments that Pirate Software made on Star Citizen. I'm going to explain why he's wrong, and some of the stuff he's right on others, and what are his personal opinions, right, as well, because he has a lot of personal opinions. Um, and we're going to explain some of the things that he doesn't really understand, and he criticizes Star Citizen for when he just doesn't really um, understand what's going on, or how like the lifetime insurance or insurance and ship works. So that's something that a lot of people, even within the community, don't understand how that works, and they just went crazy for that as well. And it's really simple. So we're just gonna go ahead and talk about it. So I hope you guys stay around.
Star Citizen is honestly solid for the base price. It's fun as and there's enough content there to be worth $40 to spend on it. If you have an idea for an MMO, right? An MMO generally is engaged persistence between players, and that persistent world has some kind of competition in some way, or some sort of sharing between those players that is persistent. This is not a persistent world yet. It is a number of technical demos that don't have persistence, commonly have wipes, and as such, isn't really a game yet. It is technical testing of what could one day become a game. So I can't agree with you there. I can't.
Okay, so he is wrong, and I can't agree with him on on some of the stuff that he's saying right now. So for 45 bucks, you can actually buy the game. You can actually enjoy the game and play everything that he has at the moment and that he's offering for $45. You do not need to spend more money than 45 or whatever the game package you want to get, right? And you can get everything else in game. When he's talking about an MMO, he is right that Star Citizen is not an MMO, but his definition is wrong, because he's putting everything on persistence, right? And that's not what an MMO is. An MMO really is all about the interaction with a lot of players, right? So when it comes to Star Citizen, you cannot interact with more than 100 players at the moment on the server. So I wouldn't really consider it an MMO, because you cannot interact with more than maybe 500 well, I would say maybe more than 1,000 players, right? So once you hit, I would say the mark for 1,000 players, it's like, okay, now it's a massive multiplayer online game, right? Now it's an actual MMO. Now you can interact with like lots and lots of players. So there's a lot of games like that where the servers hold like 4,000 players, right? And that's considered a full server, or 2,000 players, and it's okay. Now that is an MMO, but for Star Citizen, it's only 100 players, which means that it is not an MMO. A Star Citizen, I would describe it more as a sandbox, space combat simulator game. That's what I would describe it as.
Maybe one day it could become a really cool game, but the direction of their monetization leads me to believe that that day will never come. Yeah, it's just testing. It doesn't even matter how long it's been tested. Like, you have to understand something. It doesn't matter how long a game is in development. It doesn't. It does not matter how long a game is in development. What matters is the direction of development, the communication of the studio. The communication of the studio is fine. They do a good job of communicating the things they're working on. They have a massive roadmap. The direction of the studio, I can't agree with. The direction of the studio is heavily geared towards squeezing as much money out of the community as possible. I can't agree with that.
I can agree with him on a lot of these things that he's saying, right? He is saying a lot of...
I think it's gross. And many of the ways that they're squeezing money out of the community could cause damage down the line.
So, okay. So he is right in some of the aspects that... Okay, so the roadmap is... They do communicate stuff on the roadmap, but they have also removed some of the stuff on the roadmap when it comes to when are some of the ships are going to be released and whatnot, and how many people are working on it. When it comes to the other stuff that he's talking about, right, the direction, because we got to understand that a company puts really their like the direction of the company goes towards either, let's say it's a free-to-play game like League of Legends, so they're trying to sell you skins, right? And that's the direction that the company is in. So really, for games like Call of Duty, it's like the same, right? They try to sell you some of the artists' skins, some of the neat skins, so you can buy into it. The criticism for a lot of these games really comes to the direction they're taking, right? For a lot of people, and something that he's gonna agree later on is when he's talking about people talk about skins, right? So for me, I dislike that a little bit because the companies put a lot of work into the skins and not a lot into what is it called, the game itself, or the progress, or the campaigns, or the content. The same goes for Star Citizen as well. There's a lot of it that they're pushing a lot of it towards ships, and while it's very different than an actual skin that you only show off, right? At least there is new stuff to work around or play around with down the line. Like I said, because you can just buy the games with in-game money. So if they buy or they bring a new ship, right, you can just eventually buy it later on with in-game money.
To their game, such as selling insurance for ships that is lifetime. Something that we know inside of the gaming industry that we've known for a long time is the moment that a company sells a lifetime subscription to anything, that game is going to die. We've seen it timeless times, over and over again. Go back and even look at something like Hellgate London. Hellgate London was doing just fine, and then suddenly they released a lifetime subscription to the game. The moment you release a lifetime subscription to the game, it's about to go downhill. Happens every single time. I have never seen that work out because it's we don't have enough money. This isn't sustainable. Inject a bunch of money into the system. Maybe we can make it work. And if it doesn't work, the game's going to die. That's why we do that. That is the reason that happens in the industry. So when you have a lifetime subscription to a ship before launch is even out, that is a massive red flag to me, dude. That is a massive, massive red flag to me.
So he doesn't understand what the lifetime insurance means on Star Citizen. He is completely wrong. He's basing his comment and basically very little information. What lifetime insurance is on Star Citizen, it's when your ship gets destroyed. You need to claim it, right? To your ship gets destroyed, you die, you end up waking up in a hospital, and then you need to go back to reclaim your ship. So by respawning your ship, you go into one of these terminals, and then you claim your insurance, right? Because your ship got destroyed, your car got destroyed, you're claiming your insurance. That's the shtick basically behind it. What you do is currently you do not pay any money to reclaim your ship. You just wait a little bit of time, and then you pay the expediting if you want to make the respawn a little bit faster, because some of the light ships or like small vehicles you get to reclaim them pretty quick in a couple of minutes, right? Or while other ones are like very big and massive. Maybe it's like 20 minutes to claim your ship, and that is to put a stop into how fast you can claim this kind of ships, right? Like so that way you're more careful if you're flying a bigger ship, right? Like something like a battleship, something like it is massive compared to like a tiny little speedboat. It just makes sense, right? So when it comes to claiming insurance, right? What he's talking about, the lifetime insurance, he's talking about not. Eventually, Star Citizen is going to have a system in which you're paying for the insurance of your ship. And this is for in-game, dude. We're talking about in-game money. We're not talking about actual money. We're not talking about your ship gets destroyed and then you need to pay real money to have your ship again, right? That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about lifetime insurance is we're talking about in-game money to respawn your ship. And we're talking about think about like paying a tiny little fee because you were dumb enough to crash your ship, and so now the game is punishing you for like, okay, well you crash your ship, now we're gonna charge you like 10,000 credits or 5,000 credits because it's a small ship. Oh, it's a big ship. Well, we're gonna charge you like 40,000 credits, right? Like that's what the insurance is talking about. So by having a ship that you buy that has quote unquote lifetime insurance, then you don't have to pay that in-game currency. You don't have to pay those like 5,000 in-game credits, right? And we're talking about money that you can just make very simple with a simple mission, and then you just pay it back, and that's it. You're good to go. So that's what we're talking about, really. And so he is thinking, and a lot of other people in the community are thinking that, oh, my ship got destroyed. That means that I had to pay another like $50 to get my ship, right? Because it's gone. No, that's not what we're fucking talking about. We're talking about in-game. Your ship's getting destroyed in-game, and so you pay a tiny little fee for it, right? Like a couple of like in-game credits. It's just stupid what all these people thinking because it's just we're talking about people in the community. Like that's what they're all thinking is gonna be like with actual money, and it's not. And so that really what comes down to it. It's just misinformation. There's a lot of misinformation about this.
That is dangerous because the cost of running that the whole time, you're not recouping on any of it. So what the hell's going on there? On top of that, having $687 million when you're still in beta, that's disturbing to me.
That's not disturbing to me, and the reason why is when you have a big studio, right? And this guy's went from being independent in a studio to having like now 5 studios, or 4 studios around. I think it's 4 studios around the world, right? Like they have studios in the U.S., in the U.K., in Europe, right? Like so. You do have to pay the cost for developers because they're developing 2 games. That's what people don't understand. They think it is just only 1 game. They are developing, CIG is developing Star Citizen, and they are also developing Squadron 42. And Squadron 42 has also big artists in there that you gotta pay for their contributions, right? As well as the game directors, the devs, artists, all kinds of people, the people that make the music, right? So you have to pay to all these people. So I think it is reasonable. I think they are spending a lot of the money in the creating the game. So that's good for them, honestly.
It's a lot of goddamn money. Didn't know that's a swan song? It is generally a swan song. It is very rare that a lifetime subscription is not a swan song for a studio. Very rare. In this case, it is a red flag. Not necessarily a swan song, but a red flag. And that's bothersome. Those people could have shares in the company. They could. The other thing that I think is a little bit weird is kind of the community interaction around the game, which is there's a number of people that talk about their purchases in Star Citizen as investments. That is not an investment. An investment denotes some potential for return. That is a purchase of an item in a video game. That's a weird thing, and I don't understand culturally why that's being used.
He's right on this one and wrong, but he's mainly right. And the reason why I say he's wrong is because on Star Citizen you can buy a ship that eventually will cost more down the line to sell, right? So, for example, let's say that you buy a ship that it costs $100, right? The way they work, so the company does it, is they don't sell the ship all the time. So then, eventually, the need for having the specific ship for some people will pay more than that, right? So there's actual websites where people buy and sell ships, or they buy and sell upgrades to a specific ships and whatnot. And so for them, it is kind of an investment, right? But for the average person, it is fucking not. And it shouldn't be an investment. He is 100% right when it's like, it is fucking weird that people will think that it's an investment. And I'm 100% right there with him. It is fucking dumb if you are saving or buying a Star Citizenship because you think it's going to be making you a lot of money down the line. You then really don't know how to fucking invest, and that's just how it is, honestly.
That's odd. It is not an investment.
It
Should
is
not
not.
call it that. I don't know why there's a number of people that have used this term, but it's very strange. Yeah, investment implies the potential for a return. Yeah, no, not an investment. And there are purchases in there that aren't ridiculous. There are for like the initial ships or whatever the hell. But like seeing microtransactions go as high as $48,000, dude. No.
That is okay. So the 400, the 48,000. It's not really a microtransaction if you think about it. It's $48,000. That's more of a macro transaction. But that's just a shortcut to buying everything in the game at once. That's what that is. So if you are the kind of person that does this kind of investments, right, that sells ships on third-party websites and whatnot, then it's understandable why people will just want to hit one button to buy everything instead of buying every single ship, right? And let's say that you just want to buy every single ship because you have the money, you're a millionaire, right? And you're like, I want to own every single ship because I'm playing with all my friends and just want to share them or whatever, right? rather than spending uh, fucking so much time buying every single ship one by one, be like, okay, I'm gonna come here, collect this one, press one, okay, and then I'm gonna buy it. Okay, I pay for my credit card, and okay, and then I'm gonna go get this one. I'm gonna get another one, and then another one, and then another one, right? We're talking about like less than the fucking 1% of players will probably do buy that much stuff. So instead of doing that and spending like 15 or 20 hours just buying every single ship in the game, you have the option to just click it and then you buy everything for $48,000. I don't know why you would do that, right? I know there's organizations, a group of people that do that, but it's definitely not the average gamer is buying fucking $48,000 in chips. That is just a shortcut for the rich people, basically.
There's no way that I could ever say that that's okay.
And it is not a microtransaction. We're talking about a macro fucking transaction. They like this guy here in chat has it right. Like this guy right here. It's a fucking macro transaction. Dude.
Ever at all. That's not going to happen. So like the reason why I don't like it is this. I come from a time where you buy the video game and then through effort you earn the ability to progress. Star Citizen, you buy the video game and then you can also buy that effort. You just buy the big boy ships. Wrong?
Yeah, the people saying that he's wrong. It's right. He's actually wrong.
I can go on there right now and buy those ships.
Well, it's just the way that is done is wrong. So you can be in here, right, and then buy all of this with in-game money, dude. You don't need to spend dollars for it. You can just do this and then you earn all of this. That's how that is. The issue comes in that there's people like him and there's many others that see this kind of shortcut of like just paying in as a bad thing. And it is a good and a bad thing. And the reason why it is a good thing is because there's players out there with money that do not want to spend the time to grind. Because to them, spending an hour on fucking grinding, it equates a waste of fucking time. Because they probably get paid way more for just doing 1 hour of work than for fucking playing and doing work on a video game. That's why they rather just spend the money.
I can buy every one of them. I don't have to build them. I don't have to spend time making them. I can just go buy them. You don't buy the game. You buy a ship in the video game. Are we playing semantics, boy? Now is that what we're doing? Are we saying the game free, but you need to buy a ship to play the game? Is that what we're doing right now? Okay, here let me make this more clear. In order to play the game, you need to buy a microtransaction in a demo in which there are frequent wipes. What good value?
It's understandable why he's saying it the way he's saying it.
EVE Online ruined itself when it started making skill injectors sellable. Yeah, that was the immediate death of that game to me. You have to buy a package. You have to buy a package that comes with a starter ship. You are still buying the MMO package. Okay, here. Let me make this very clear to you. Any game where I can buy the video game and then instead of using effort to attain end game gear and activities, I can just whip out my credit card is a game. That's it. It's a game. That's a game. I've made it very clear for you. When will you remove the Heartbound demo microtransactions? I'm on to you, Cardboard Cowboy. How you doing, by the way, man? We're talking about Store Citizen.
He's right and wrong on those because the way the game is set up is different than others, right? Obviously, there's a lot of hate towards games like Diablo, which I understand, in which it is just pay to win, right? Like you have a 1v1 situation against another player. And he wins because he bought all his fucking gear with store money, right? So he didn't really spend any time. He didn't spend any effort. He didn't do any of that. So it's understandable when it comes to the PvP part of it why players will be mad. on why, like, oh, you just got your what is it called? Your in-game, like gear with in-game money, so you didn't really do shit. You didn't really earn it. And Star Citizen is a little bit different because you can buy one of the luxury ships, for example, and still get destroyed in a PvP fight. And then we buy a ship that is just like 10 times cheaper than that. And the reason why is because the ships in Star Citizen have different roles. And so different roles means that, okay, like there's a ship in there that is called the A90 Jump, and that one is a luxury ship. And when you fly that one, you do have a little bit of guns in there, but they or like things like that. But another guy can come in with a ship that is meant for fighting, for PvP, that is cheaper, and just completely destroy your ship. Um, that is just for the players that want to show off that they have money. There's a lot of people like that in the world that just want to show off that they have money, so they buy items that are luxury items that have absolutely no fucking reason to have a price that high. But the only reason why it has that is because it really has uh, the message behind that says, "I am richer than you."
which I don't respect. When you say microtransactions, what do you mean? I mean things that are not cosmetic. If you are able to purchase items that have any type of value in the game, such as being able to be traded for in-game currency of any kind, such as the WoW token, or in EVE Online, the same, that ends up being a problem. If you are able to buy an item that gives you some sort of statistic or mechanical advantage in the game, or unlock statistic or mechanical bonuses in any possible way, that is a problem. The only thing that should be sold as a microtransaction in a game where I will not have a problem is cosmetic. It needs to be cosmetic in nature, not giving you a statistical or mechanical advantage in any possible way.
Now, the thing about Star Citizen is that this one right here, the cosmetic one, is ass. The cosmetics in Star Citizen are really bad. They're like a money grab. They are basically change the color kind of situation skin from green to blue, and you pay $10 for it. It's fucking absolutely stupid. Uh, when it comes to this makes sense for Star Citizen, and the reason why is because, like I said before, different ships have different roles, right? So some ships will be cargo, some other ships will be mining, and then some other ships will be pew pew can ships, right? That means that they're good at combat. So different roles will have different stats, will have different things, and I am completely okay if a dude over there it has a different ship and he has whatever he wants to fucking pay. I don't care, right? Because I can get it with in-game currency regardless of whatever fucking money he paid. If he paid for the shortcut because he doesn't want to spend money on getting a mining ship that he really enjoys fucking mining and playing, right? I have absolutely no problem because what I'm gonna do is I'm playing a different kind of a game, right? In which or loops that I enjoy. If sometimes I don't even maybe I don't even want to play any of these fucking game loops, right? Or any of the shape. I don't want to play the cargo one. I don't want to play the miner one, and maybe I don't want to play the combat one. Maybe I just want to do fucking racing on space, right? And I just want to be a fucking Sonic the Hedgehog. That's just what Star Citizen has. It just has different roles for every ship.
That's it. This is a very simple concept. You're not going to wriggle your way around it and try and be like, Star Citizen is actually selling you cosmetic ships. No, they offer
not.
statistical
That
and
is true.
mechanical
That is
advantages to those different ships,
100%
unlocking
true.
additional content or different ways to play with more people, or at a statistical advantage over other ships. As such, this is pay to win.
That is not pay to win. Because you can have a cargo ship, right? That you buy with money, real life money, and you get your cargo ship, right? Where you have your materials and then you're doing your fucking space trucking. And then here comes a dude with the ship that he bought in game that is good for pew pewing. And then this guy will fucking win the PvP fight. This guy. Not him. This guy right here. Because the ship that he bought is good for PvP. It's good for taking other people's cargo. And this guy could have been paid everything in money to get this ship because that's what he likes to do. That's the thing about Star Citizen. You don't. Well, the pay is there. The to win is not all there.
I refuse to play pay-to-win games. They are not fun because I'm not fighting you. I'm fighting your credit card. Dumb. It's very simple.
This comes from a Diablo mentality, dude. The Diablo mentality is that, and I completely understand his fucking point of view. It's fighting a credit card, it will be annoying.
And I'll fight you all day in a video game. What about Warframe? Warframe doesn't have a statistical or mechanical advantage. That is a PvE game where everything is cosmetic. I have earned everything that I have obtained in Warframe.
There's people that like PvE, there's people that like PvP. There's people that don't like PvE, right? Obviously, so it gets very intense when it comes to PvP and when it comes to the use of money. It's just generally hated by the gaming community. That's just how it is.
And I enjoy the shit out of it. Yeah, Fashion Frame is the end.
But I have absolutely no fucking problem with somebody buying a ship or buying something just because they want to get a shortcut because they don't have enough time to play the game. So it could be a guy that is a friend, right? For example, if my friend who's married, who has kids, right? Who has to go to work and he has a job. And he's like, dude, I'm trying to play the game, but I can't be here farming for 6 fucking hours, like if it is my job. But I can use one of those hours to pay in and get a little bit of a shortcut to enjoy the game so that he can play with me. I'm completely fucking okay with that. And that's what some people don't understand.
What about Path of Exile? Path of Exile does not offer you a statistical or mechanical advantage.
So yeah, anyways, he goes on to keep talking, I think, about other games. So we're going to stop right here. So if you guys want to check out some of the other Star Citizen videos where I'm just having fun, or I'll probably do one where we're just starting in with no money. That'll be a really fun challenge to do, where we just have absolutely no money. We're playing as a new player, and we'll even start from the bottom and see how fast we can get as many ships. That if it's something you guys are interested, let me know in the comments. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna play Elden Ring, so I hope you guys swing by. We're gonna be live streaming. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow for sure. Elden Ring new DLC.